Alright, back to the lower drama of phantasmagorical bashing. There was a couple of good videos. I'll post a link. Ballyboneman, sorry. Sorry, I don't know why the Billy thing stuck in my head, but anyway. And that Veritas guy, who I argue with on Stickcam now and then, he's like some kind of, libertarian kook, but he's, a smart guy. Yeah, this will be a response, I guess, to Matt's video or something. I don't know. I'll link it to something, but who knows. But anyway, it's about Matt again, and consciousness. He's not satisfied with my definition of consciousness, how it comes about through evolution, how it's built upon the premise of creating ambiguous feelings that can compete with each other in a strange soupy mix of emotions that then an organism can react to based on priorities, like whether I'm trying to survive at the moment or whether I'm trying to fill my belly at the moment, or whatever. That it would have obvious evolutionary advantage for an organism to be able to customize its behavior, to learn, to appreciate value, and that consciousness is sort of a byproduct of the mechanism that allows that to happen. We sort of have our consciousness right on the edge of this experience. I mean, we don't really get to see the output. Okay, I'm speaking these words, I don't analyze them consciously first. They just come out, and then I hear them. They become an input. So that's the weird plane that consciousness exists on. We feel, we sense, that's all coming in, and in the same place that the stuff coming in is coming in, we are also throwing stuff out, called our behavior. Through that conscious plane, we get this immediate feedback. We feed on what we've created, and that can happen internally as well as externally, in that we can just shut down our physical sentences as much as we can, and we will still have an internal conversation. The trains are still running. But anyway, it doesn't really matter the physics of consciousness. I mean, there's lots of ways to speculate how it can take place. But for Matt's phantasmagorical, whatever crappy, I don't even know, but why, new words? No, forget it. Polymorphic, whatever crapola shit. For that to have any kind of meaning, I mean, he's basically speculating that atomic particles, because they are entities, have a consciousness. That anything that's an entity, that's a fixed form, is conscious. So microbes, yes, of course, all that stuff, whatever. He's not associating consciousness with the existence of a central nervous system, a brain, and that's really irritating. An easy argument against that kind of nonsense is the fact that we can turn our consciousness off. How could consciousness be an emergent property of physical reality if you could turn it off and on? Okay, I mean, if an atom had it, could it turn it on and off? Does it have a dream state? Come on, does a microbe have a dream state, even though it has no brain to create it? Obviously, it's through the brain that we create those different states. And obviously, we can turn consciousness off. We can be neither dreaming nor awake. And and be unconscious. We can be knocked out. We can be drugged. How could an emergent state be wiped out by a little bit of chemistry? It's silly. This is silly thing to have to even argue about this stuff. And the bottom line, so to get to Billy Bowman's a big guy about the gaps. Okay, there's all, he does a video with the strainers and the holes, and the idea that there's these missing pieces to our understanding, and some of them are somehow vital. And my simple argument to that is that we know the force, we've defined the force that's invented us, that built us. And it's crude as hell. I mean, it's billions of years of carnage, It just adds features. We see the preposterously idiotic things nature creates, the idiotic circumstances, the horror that's out there. And we also know that even our perceptions of it we're emotionally tied to it. We are born addicted to life because that's the way we've been built. We've been built to live. We haven't been built to pop out and say, oh, this place sucks. Yeah, where's the escape hatch? Now, we're not built to do that. We're emotionally built to be in the game, to play the game. And so, of course, we find parts of nature beautiful and all that bullshit. I mean, of course, we're going to have some sensibilities that tie us to this piece of biosphere that we're feeding off of. We're hungry for it, okay? Not because it's a good meal, but because we've been built to be hungry for it. It's just, you know, there's no gap in our knowledge of evolution. There's no gaps in our understanding of the process that built us, and that our psychology is dominated by that construction. I mean, you know, we could argue about little minutia effects. Let's argue about the 99.99 effect, which is the one nature built us to be and stuck in. And we see our drives, we see our desires, we see the minimal amount of emotion we're allowed or are capable of that is so controlled by conditioning, these arbitrary and, you know, influences that fuck us all up. But we're a beast of desire. We have silly, you know, hates, emotions, resentments, jealousies. We're possessive. We're greedy, selfish. All of that shit. We see that it's not a great animal that nature constructs. And that the real elegance of the real dignity of our existence has come through what we've been able to imagine through an informed and educated psychology, through intelligence and knowledge and wisdom. These are the things that have built us into something worthwhile, not just some kind of hungry fucking animal. And you can keep, you know, there's some of you that are just never going to give up on glorifying this natural design and saying, well, look, it works. Look at all the stuff it's created. It's so prolific. And you're just so built in, stuck in this idea of survival being an accomplishment in and of itself. And that there's some sort of glory in quantity. And you're not taking into account any consideration of quality. There's got to be quality in the construction. How much is paid for these few moments that these animals are given of grace and dignity? I mean, go look at the average gorilla in nature. I mean, there's flies all over him. I mean, yeah, he's found a way to be comfortable in the environment, but it's a pesky, harassing, stinky environment. You know, I mean, everything's going to acclimate to whatever has to acclimate. We're going to acclimate to a cesspool if that's what we're required to do. So quit glorifying this bullshit.